Hi, everybody. Welcome back to PMS, the Perpetual Motion Squad, a Big Bang Theory fan podcast. And we are your hosts, Big Bang Theory super fans, married couple Cat.
And Paul,
And we are excited to be here today.
we are now. There was something. Oh, you,
Before
you go.
we get
Yep,
going,
you go first.
before you get going, and I can't get a word
Yes.
in edgewise.
All right. Yes. Well, I see you.
We
Hmm.
forgot to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day last week.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yes,
To
happy
all the
Mother's
mums
Day.
out there to all the mums who are married in a happy relationship, or to those mums who are in a relationship and really don't want to be in the relationship, but they're there anyway, because I've got a ex-friend of mine who is in a relationship, and as she says, it is what it is. She's
Yeah,
not
but she
happy.
deserves better.
Yeah, she's not happy, but she's in it because what else are you going to do?
And to all of the single mums,
Yes. All the
to
single
all
ladies.
to all of the single dads who have to be moms too,
Yeah.
and all the pet mummies.
Yes. So
Yes,
happy Mother's Day to
to
everybody,
everyone.
including the lady that's sitting right across from me. She's a mummy too.
And remembering both of our mothers and Paul's grandmother today as well.
Yes. So
I
a
miss my
very,
mom.
yeah, very
Yeah,
happy Mother's
today would
Day.
have been the day that I called my mom, wished her happy Mother's Day, and told her that I forgot to mail the card, so she'll get it in a couple of weeks. That used to happen a lot.
Mums are okay with that sometimes.
But
So
my mom would always be like, "Oh, cool, now I have something to look forward to."
now, on a happier note, there is
Yes.
something that I forgot to do on my birthday, and I need to do it.
What's that?
So on my birthday, obviously, as you know, you get presents.
Uh-huh.
And Kat bought me a very unique present. And I have to have a show and tell.
Okay.
Now, that is a ducky, right?
Back
And
it up a little bit. It's a little blurry.
people are sitting there going, okay, it's a duck. So what's so cool about that? Well, if you look closely on the front, that
Back him up
is,
so he's right next to your face. So yeah,
I can't back it
yeah.
up too far because they're not going to be able to
I
see it.
know, but everything, the background is in
Right.
focus, and he's not.
Is he in
There you go.
focus now? Right.
Mostly,
Mostly in focus? Right.
yeah.
That is Leatherface Ducky.
From the Texas Chainsaw
Chainsaw
Massacre.
Massacre. So, yeah, I had never seen this, didn't even know it existed. Have now put my order in for all the other duckies that she's going to go and buy me. But I've got a little, okay, my room has got like, okay, Kiss in the back. I've got Star Wars on this side, plus a horror one, plus a toy one, plus a Ninja Turtles one at the
He's
top
got like
there.
80s collectibles.
I've got 80 stuff down there with stuff, but I never ever knew that there was such a thing
There's
as
horror duckies.
horror duckies. Now, the reason that we go and get duckies is because when we got married, we were looking through we were at
Yeah, let me see if I
Michael's.
can find a copy of the picture.
Okay, anyway,
So you keep talking.
we were in a what was it like what was Michael's
We
considered?
were we were in a Michael's Craft.
Craft store, thank you.
Yes, it was a
And
craft store.
we I don't know what we were looking
Okay,
for.
we were all right. We were looking for, I forget what Paul was looking for, but on the other side of the aisle was all the wedding stuff. And
Yeah.
we happened to have Paul's son with us at the time.
Mm,
And I'm just looking through the wedding stuff because we're about a month away from about 4 weeks away from our wedding at this point.
yeah.
And I'm just looking through stuff and I found this bride and groom ducky. And
Yeah.
I picked it up and I'm like, hey guys, isn't this cute? And both of them went, oh, and Xander was like, can we get it? Can we get it? And I'm like, okay. And I looked at Paul and I says, what do you think about this for a cake topper? And he's like, well, it's unique. And I'm like, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So we took it to the person who was making our cake and they made the most beautiful cake with the bride and groom duckies on top. And ever since then, people keep giving us duckies.
Yeah,
And we keep buying
we
duckies.
keep buying duckies.
We have the Andy Warhol multicolor pictures of himself or the tomato soup cans.
Hmm.
We have that of duckies in our bathroom. We've we've got ducky
Yeah, when we
everything.
were at our other rent, we were actually at a rental before we bought our or before we built our home. We had a shower curtain that was all duckies.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Shower curtain duckies.
All right, I
But
can't find
yeah,
the cake picture.
so we have gone through a lot. So as I said, I did not publicly show people that you can get a Leatherface ducky. So there is a Leatherface ducky
Yeah,
that I got for my birthday. So
there are well, he also got a bright pink one that said love across his chest.
I do. But out of those two, Leatherface ducky is the
Yeah. Yeah,
bestest.
Paul has bought me many duckies over the years. This is the first time I think I've bought him one,
Yeah,
or rather
or
two.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've put my order in for I think there's a Michael Myers one.
Yeah, I think I saw a Michael Myers one.
I want that one. And
There aren't many.
if they bought a Freddy Krueger one out,
I'll see what I can do.
that would be awesome as well
I will
because I'd love.
see
But
what
yeah,
I can do.
so obviously as people know, I am a horror nerd. Um when I was, you know, okay, in 1984 when the original Nightmare on Elm Street came out, I was 12 and my nana took me to see A Nightmare on Elm Street, which shows you what she was not prepared for. She didn't go and
Mm,
study. She was just like, "Oh, okay, he wants to go and see that." Because on when we have our school holidays, I could go down to my grandmother's place, and she'd be like, "Okay, one of the days I'm going to take you to the movies, so just choose." So we would get the newspaper on the way down, and we would sit there and choose a movie. And all I saw was this write-up that said, "If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all." And
right.
I'm like, "Oh, A Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah." And so my nana took me to that. Was looking under my bed for about the next 2 weeks to see if Freddy was underneath there. But that was my absolute gateway into horror. And if I had to choose my most favorite horror icon, it's definitely Robert Englund in as Freddy. So he's the one and only Freddy. So yeah, I'm a horror nerd. I've seen so much horror. So yes, if you ever don't want to give us coffee, but you want to give us a horror little something horror related, then send it to me because I love horror and I now have
He now has a
a
horror ducky
Leatherface,
collection.
a horror ducky collection. So
Only has one in it at the moment, but we're
I have
working on
one.
that.
We're going to work on that one. So yes.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody. So yes, I just wanted to do that because I'd actually completely forgotten to show everybody what I got for my birthday.
Yes.
So. But this week we are doing season 3, episode number 12, The Psychic Vortex. What did we think about this episode? Because I thought that this episode was okay, wasn't fantastic, it was okay, but it really does show you that Leonard does bend very easily.
It shows you
Very,
how
very
much he can
easily.
be a dick as well.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. He can definitely be a dick, but when he confronts Penny in the laundry,
Yeah.
um, and when she says no, it's like, okay, well then let's go and see. And it's like, hang on a minute,
No,
weren't you sitting there?
and we'll get to this. You
Yeah, but
always do that.
no,
Um, but he's being open-minded and saying, I'd be willing to go and see what she has to say so that I can try and understand what you see in this.
mm-hmm.
He asks her, will you be open to my point of view and reading something from my perspective? And she says, absolutely not.
So he discounts his opinion and goes with hers again.
Well, no, he's going along with what he said he would do originally and takes and sometimes knowing when to quit is the better part of valor and realizes that if he tries to push it, it's just going to make things worse and he's not going to get anywhere, so he lets it go.
Yeah, but don't you think it was really interesting when he said to Howard, just to date her, I have to give up everything I believe. I can't do that. And then all of a sudden he does give it up.
No, he didn't give it up. He said, I am willing to hear it out and see what you see in it.
Okay, and if
That's
she's
not compromising and say, okay, I now believe what you believe.
okay, but if she still sticks with that, is he still going to date her?
Then it's a choice on her part. He'll understand better why she chooses to believe it,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean he has to believe it or agree with it. He just
Yeah,
has to be willing to support her belief.
I don't know. Sometimes I think he just folds really
Oh,
quickly.
he does.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I was just trying to get myself
What
comfortable.
are you
Okay.
doing?
Trying to get myself comfortable. It's okay. Don't worry about it. No, I don't have nothing in my hand.
Hmm.
Okay, so the episode opens up where we have got Leonard and Howard, and they're getting ready for their dates. And as Howard says, wow, I can't believe we actually got going out with real. As no, Leonard says, I can't believe we're going out with real women. And
Who
Howard,
actually are willing to admit
yeah,
publicly that they are our girlfriends.
exactly. And of course, love how Howard goes, real women are the best.
And Sheldon is sitting there on his computer listening to them, and he's like, "What other kind of women are there?"
Yeah, and I like it how Leonard goes, well, Howard, can you take this one? And he goes, no, no, let him just be the way he is. It might, freak him out. And I like it how Howard comes and says to Leonard, listen, I'm a very passionate man, and I'm open to, and I am very,
Prone to public displays of
yeah.
affection.
And I
And
like it,
I
he
love
goes,
how Leonard kind of looks at him like, "What are you
what are
saying?"
you getting to, Howard? And he goes, there may be some making out in the back of the car or in the restaurant, and it would help if maybe you and Penny would make out as well.
And he's like, "Well,
And
yeah, of course, we're planning on having sex on the salad bar."
and this is where we see that Raj comes in, and he has rented the now apparently he's rented the 4 hour special edition of The Watchmen.
Now there is no 4-hour edition of The Watchmen.
Okay.
The longest running version is 3.5 hours, and the one that Raj was holding was the 3-hour version.
Hmm. I must admit, I have watched this movie. And I can't believe I got bits of soup on my top. Damn it.
Just for
Yeah, I was doing
reference,
something before
we
coffee
were
this
using the
morning.
immersion blender to blend the crock pot of soup that I made yesterday and let cook
Mm,
overnight. And Paul was zhuzhing it and he got a little overexcited and
I
he
am
splattered
superfied myself,
the stove, the backsplash, and himself.
but I did clean it up very, very quickly.
Yes, he
So,
did.
um,
And it's really good soup.
it's a very good soup. I can't wait to have it. Mm.
Hmm.
Funny enough, when Kat was like, actually getting me to taste it this morning, she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I'll skip the coffee and just go to the soup." Even though the coffee is very, very
I
good, but
wouldn't let him skip the coffee.
no,
In
no,
fact, I might even have second coffee today
because that's with the doing and the word and the thing,
with the
with the
talking
talking and everything. Yeah,
the thoughts and the connecting.
exactly. So I like it how Raj is like, well, what am I going to do? And I like it how it goes, well, I don't know what you're going to do because these Broncos have been saddled, and walks out of the apartment with Leonard. And I love how Leonard goes, how did we get dates? Now, one thing I wanted to find interesting, okay, Penny lives across the hall. Did she go over to Bernadette's to get ready to go out?
Yeah, because he didn't go pick her
He
up,
didn't
did
go
he?
pick her up. So was
And it's not like they're meeting at the restaurant because they're all in the car together.
exactly so was it that she drove over to Bernadette's to get ready to go out, or where the hell was
I
Penny?
mean, maybe, but I doubt it.
Well, where
Maybe
the
she
hell was
just met him
Penny?
down at the car.
Oh, maybe she might have actually got yeah, okay. So she might have been down on the street beforehand.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
Okay.
she put a lot of effort into her hair that night, though.
Yeah, her hair looked gorgeous
Yeah, with the
in
curls.
ringlets. Yeah.
That would have taken easily 30 minutes to an hour to do.
Yeah, that looked beautiful. She looked really great with her hair like that. Um, so poor old Raj
And then
is
there's me, I just sort of brush it.
that's all right. You look fine. So Raj is left with Sheldon
Poor
and
Raj.
poor Raj. And
This is
I like it.
probably the most we've heard him speak in 3 seasons.
Well, I like it how he says, "Oh, great. So the guys get dates and they just leave me, And this is where I find it interesting is that there are people out there that cannot be by themselves. They've got to have somebody
Mm,
around with them at all times.
yeah.
Um,
My
I am
ex-boyfriend was one of those.
I am very, very happy being by myself. I
Me
have
too.
the best fun. Um,
I lived in my own place by myself for like 13 years.
yeah, and not having to answer to anybody or whatever.
Mm.
But I mean that doesn't say that I don't. I love. I do love being married, obviously.
Yeah.
But the fact is that if I was by myself, I wouldn't have to sit there and go, I need someone around me. I can entertain myself
You'd be
quite
like,
easily.
yay, horror movies 24/7, no rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah, if I had found a date on whatever app you had to swipe, whichever way, any girl that would come over, she'd be sitting there going, okay, so I can see horror. Do you watch anything else? No, just horror. I'm just a horror aficionado, so.
Mm.
Well, that's the whole thing is like when you really love something, like I really love horror, you know, I would love to have some like my niece loves horror. She doesn't live anywhere near me, so we can't sit down and watch horror movies together. But, when you love something like that, it would be really nice to actually have somebody to sit down and watch, like there are certain horror movies that I will show Kat. There are certain horror movies I wish I could show her, but
Okay,
no way
so
in hell.
this is the I am not a horror fan. I like
No.
thrillers,
Yeah.
but I don't like horror. I
Mm.
am definitely not a gore person.
Yeah.
Um, which oddly I can watch Seven.
That's thriller. It's not horror.
No, but it has gore in it.
Yeah, but that's more thriller orientated. I know I'm working with you here, but I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Are you done?
Hmm.
I have, sorry, I almost lost my train of thought there. Thank you very much. Um, excuse me? What was that about? Uh-huh. For those of you on the audio version of this, sorry, Paul was making weird faces and sticking his tongue out at me.
Those of us on YouTube that are watching this are going, "Oh my God, these two. How have they got the viewers?
Yeah. How did we get real people?
How do we get real people to watch us do this?"
Um, but I am a rom-com fan, a drama fan, even a thriller fan. I do not do horror. I don't like jump scares. I don't like stuff that gives me nightmares. The first time I accidentally watched Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought it was the TV show, so I figured, okay, I can handle that for half an hour. 45 minutes later, I realized it was the movie, and I made the mistake of watching the tag at the end.
Mhm.
I had to sleep with the light on for a week. So, no, don't shake your head at me,
No, 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 no.
mister.
I'm just shaking because I mean the thing is, Freddy's nightmares were fun, but they weren't anywhere near nightmare. And funny enough, there was an extra two tags that they never put in the Nightmare movie. So the first tag was, or the first deleted scene they actually omitted, which was we found out that Nancy was not an only child. She actually had a sister who was actually killed by Freddy. And that was the reason that the obviously the parents got together from Springwood and hunted Freddy down. But the very first victim in the Thompson household was actually Nancy's sister.
And they never told you that?
They never told us that. We all thought that Nancy was the only
That would have made a
child.
lot more, made everything make a lot more sense.
Yeah, but Nancy
Stupid
found out
filmmakers.
in this deleted scene that Nancy was actually had a sister that was killed by Freddy. The second deleted scene they did is the end of the movie where you see the woman being pulled through the door. Okay,
Uh-huh.
they decided to go a different route. So when you see Nancy gets in Glenn's car and you got Glenn there and you've got Tina and you got Rod in the back seat. When you see the window going up and Nancy's like smashing on, knocking on the window to try and get out of the car, she turns to where Johnny Depp's character Glenn is, and it's actually Freddie sitting in the seat, and he actually drives the car away from the house, and that's how they left that one. So, and you didn't,
Okay.
because you didn't know because when the hood was sorry when the top goes over onto the car and you see the Freddy stripes, you don't know what happens to Nancy, Glenn, Rod, and Tina. So they left that open. But in that regard, if you saw Freddy sitting in the seat and he's driving the kids away, you would figure, oh, he's going to go and kill them all. So,
Hmm.
but they didn't include that one. So, but yeah, I was always really interested that the fact they actually they didn't keep that little thing in there that we found out that Nancy actually had a sister that was the first victim of Freddy.
Can I finish my story now?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Might as well just go on. Everybody's forgotten the thread.
No, the thread was that you don't like that you actually watched Seven and you thought Seven was a horror movie,
That wasn't the point, but
wasn't it?
let's moving on.
Okay. So poor old Raj is sitting there now, and he's actually left with Sheldon, and apparently, Raj wants to go out, and there are so many things that he's looking up on the computer.
Now, the point was that we're going to watch the Black Phone 1 and 2 today
Oh yes, we
because
are.
I actually do things that you like.
Yes, you do.
And I've watched a lot of horror movies that I never would have watched otherwise,
No, Insidious is one of them.
including The Exorcist, which I actually didn't think was very scary. I can't see what
That's
the big deal was
amazing.
about that.
That's actually amazing when you find when you see that and go. When I showed her, she's like, so that was supposed to be the scariest horror movie ever. Hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, that's very interesting that someone who doesn't watch horror movies thinks that that's not very scary.
Yeah.
So poor old Raj is sitting there on Leonard's computer and he's going through all the things that they could be doing to, and before we get to that point, Sheldon says, we've got a great night in store. And he's like, "Oh, really? What are we going to be doing?" And he goes, "Well," he said, "I realized that I don't have enough space on my computer,
To
so
put
we are
in a
going to
Linux partition.
so we're going to do a full backup, reinstall and reinitialize my computer." And Rose like, "I don't want to do that." And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to be doing a full backup, reinstall and reinitialize all my operating systems in my computer." So this is where we see after the opening credits that Raj is sitting there on Leonard's computer and he's going through all the things that there could be a possibility that they could be doing. And he says, and he gets down to the point that there is going to be a mixer on in the uh, faculty lounge of the university. And he goes, "This is, I'd like to
Okay.
do that."
Now
Yeah.
there was a very clever line
Yes.
attached to that, which even amused Sheldon because it's for the humanities and the science departments. So whether you split particles or infinitives, this is the place for you.
That's right.
And I thought that was
That
incredibly
was.
clever.
Because even Sheldon says, as amusing as that is, I'm not interested. And I like it how Raj goes, "Well, it's good to go outside. Let's go outside. Going outside is good." And Sheldon's like, "Well, if going outside is so good, why has humanity spent so much time,
Trying to
perfecting
get in.
inside?" And I like it how Raj goes, "A marketing ploy?" But
And I love Sheldon's double take at that point.
yeah, so this is we're still trying to get him, Sheldon, to go out with Raj. Now, the next scene we see is the we've got Bernadette and Howard in the back seat, Penny and obviously Leonard is driving, and we're driving to the restaurant. And I like how Leonard goes, "I hope you're hungry, Bernadette." And she goes, "Yeah." She says, watching flesh-eating bacteria, uh, what was it? Flesh-eating
Eat
bacteria
eat rodents.
skeletonize
Yeah.
skeletonize small rodents really builds up an appetite. And I like it how Howard goes, "Flesh-eating bacteria, and yet I still want to kiss this woman. What does that say?" And Penny goes, "That you'd be willing to die a
Horrible death at the
horrible
pretty
death
chance of getting lucky or
to
getting
just
to third base.
third base." And I like it how Bernadette goes, "Oh, we are so past third base."
Yeah.
And they go, "Really?" And like it Howard goes, "Well, the bases do are ambiguous sort of thing. We don't know because it's ridiculous. Because at one stage when they start making out, Bernadette goes, 'I'm sliding into what eighth
Sliding into third.
third,' and they're like, 'What is like? What do you mean?' And all third is that she's got her hand underneath his shirt. So God knows what the
Yeah.
bases are as far as they know. But this is where Bernadette actually says to Penny, "How's things going? Have you got any acting jobs?" And Penny says, "Well, no, not yet, but things may be really ready to start turning around." And Bernadette goes, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah." And this is where Leonard goes, "Oh, really? So that's great. What do you mean?" She goes, "Well," she said, "promise you won't make fun of me." And he goes, "I would never make fun of you." And she goes, "Okay, because a psychic told me that if I cut my hair, I'll get a national TV commercial." And Leonard absolutely loses it.
He could not laugh harder at her.
And I love it how Howard's in the back seat going, "Oh, way to go of not making fun of her."
Hmm.
And Leonard is being a jerk. He really is.
Yeah, he really is.
Even to the point that Penny gets mad and calls him a jerk. And it just and as she says, about the fact that, well, she is not, she is an actual psychic. She even has her own website. And Leonard goes, "Oh, you should have told me. They don't let just anybody have a website." And she says, "You're being a jerk." And he said, "Oh, why? Your psychic didn't tell you that I was going to be a jerk?" They're arguing going backwards and forwards, and this is where Howard goes, "If you don't mind, we're going to make out in the back seat of the car." And this is where we hear sliding into third, which is just
Yeah,
Bernadette's
ridiculous.
hand in his shirt. As I said, this doesn't have a great deal of laughter in this episode. It's okay, but it's not amazing. So, this is where we're back at the apartment, and Raj is still trying to get Sheldon to go out. And this is where Sheldon says, "Well, when I get stifled, and when I don't have a lot to do, I use my imagination." And love it how Raj goes, "Oh,
Oh,
oh
great.
God, great." And he goes, "The place that I like to visit is Flatland." And I like how Raj goes, I don't want to go visit Flatland. I want to go outside." And he goes, "Well, that's only because you haven't been to Flatland. It's a two-dimensional world." And he's like, "Oh, great." So, you can
Yeah.
see that this is just, and regardless of whatever Raj is going to say, it's just not going to work because he's just not getting it. The fact that poor Raj, being a poor Indian boy, wants to go out. He basically wants to go and meet somebody for a hookup. That's all he
Yeah.
really
That's
wants
all
to
he
do.
wants.
And he needs a wingman, and he doesn't want to go alone. And this is
Yep.
the whole thing is like okay, Raj could go out by himself because we know that Raj won't go out and not start to drink.
Right.
So all Raj needs to do, unless, as you said, the bar person was a female, okay?
Yep.
If he walked in, he saw the bar person was a female, then obviously he just turn around and walk out, right?
Yep.
But he walks in and he finds out that the bar person is a male, so he can order a drink. So if he's by himself, order a drink, start drinking. There, his inhibitions are gone. Then he can start approaching people. Problem solved. You don't necessarily need Sheldon as a wingman,
No.
you know. So
Well, and Sheldon asks, "What do I do as your wingman?" And he's
yeah,
like, "You help me run my game." He's like, "Well, what's that mean?" And he says, "Whatever, when I lie through my teeth to women, you just smile and nod and support me and
yeah.
agree with me."
Because after we work out that Sheldon actually Raj does actually convince Sheldon to go to the mixer, we find out that the only way that Raj gets in there is he bribes him with his Green Lantern lantern.
Yep.
It's a limited edition collectible. And like how Raj goes, "But did you really need to bring it inside with you?" And he said, "Well, what happens if my power ring," and he holds his fist up, he's got his power ring on, "loses power?"
Power.
So this is where we go over to get a drink, and Raj orders a drink, and I think what was it that Sheldon was going to order? One that had ice cream in it,
Oh, root beer float.
root beer float. Thank you. And he says, "Well, they don't have ice cream here," and he ends up to being getting a Shirley Temple. And this is what, as Kat said, what's my mission as a wingman? So basically, just whatever Rice comes up with, just sit there and nod. It's all good. And as Rice says, "I'm just looking for a female for a hookup." And Rice and Sheldon's
He's
sitting
like,
there
"Oh, so you're looking to for someone to
copulate
have
with.
coitus with."
Yeah. And so so Sheldon said, and then he goes, "Oh, there's a female," and he goes, "No,
No, no, no. First, he's like, "Okay, so let's check out the females." And he's like, "Well, there's one," and he's like, "No, that's that um
Professor's mother,
mother or wife," and she's like 80 years
80
old.
as
And he's
well."
like, "Oh, so you're looking for one with whom you can have coitus?"
Yeah, because you didn't specify. You just said a
Yeah.
female. So this is where, as they're standing there, this girl comes over, and her name is Abby, who happens to be Danica McKellar.
Yes.
Now, we know her from, I
Rem-
think, the Wonder Years.
I know you got to lead me in really when I have trivia.
Sorry.
Actress Danica McKellar appeared on this episode when Sheldon and Raj meet her character Abby while attending a mixer at the university. In the episode, the Jar Conjecture, which was the one where they were in the physics bowl
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to replace Sheldon and find a fourth for their team,
That's
Raj says, "How about the girl from the Wonder Years?" And he's
mm-hmm.
directly referring to Danica McKellar, who now has a degree in mathematics. He also mentioned the girl who played TV's Blossom, referring to Mayim Bialik, who later appears as Amy Farrah Fowler.
It's amazing how they do that
Yeah.
in on the Big Bang Theory, how they're able just to integrate these people into the cast.
Now, interestingly, um, oh, and before they left the apartment, Raj said this phrase in Hindi because Sheldon was. Oh no, we haven't gotten to the
You ever got
finished part
AV?
yet. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
yeah.
So both Jim Parsons and Danica McKellar, who plays Abby, share the distinction of playing a character whose last name is Cooper. while in real life they are
Oh,
polar
yes.
opposites regarding their well-known association with numbers. Sheldon, unlike Jim Parsons, is a physicist. Danica, who played Winnie Cooper on The Wonder Years, is a mathematician. Now, the characters of Abby and Martha
Hmm.
are actually a tribute, and I bet you don't know this,
Probably don't.
are actually a tribute to Joseph Kesselring's um, play later made into a movie with wonderful Cary Grant. Um, Abby and Martha are the names of the homicidal spinster aunts in Arsenic and Old Lace.
Did not know that one.
And I love that movie. It's brilliant. If you ever find it, Arsenic and Old Lace from 1944 with Cary Grant, it is hilarious. He plays their nephew.
Okay. I mean, it
Yeah.
may be on like somewhere like Tubi or Plex.
Yeah.
You might be able to find it.
It is I've seen it on stage a couple of times and it's a really fun play to do, but Cary Grant just makes the movie. He really does. But then again, Cary Grant was brilliant at everything that he did.
Yeah.
I love Cary Grant.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I didn't even know that one.
Oh, so anyway, when they first meet Abby, she's like, "Well, where are you from?" And he's like, "The exotic subcontinent of India." And she's like, "Oh, India." And he's like, "You've heard of it?" And she's like, "Well, I saw Slumdog Millionaire." And he's like, "That's basically my life."
I'm a
Um,
slumdog astrophysicist.
yes, and Sheldon's like, "I thought your dad was a gynecologist."
Gynecologist.
And this is the third time so far that we've seen in this series that Raj pretends to be of humble origins to try to impress someone, only to have one of his friends point out that his father is actually a gynecologist. The other two times were in the Griffin equivalency and the work song Nanocluster.
Oh, right. Okay. And so while we're standing there
Mm.
and yeah,
Sorry, before I forget,
yeah.
when we were in the car with
Hmm.
the two couples,
Yeah,
Bernadette did ask Penny how are things going and whatever, and she made reference to an acting job that she had about playing in Anne Frank above a bowling alley.
that's right. Yes, you did.
Now, Kaylee Cuoco's character from Eight Simple Rules, by the name of Bridget Hennessy, played Anne Frank in a school play on the episode Merry Christmas, the story of Anne Frank and Skeevy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I
that would
remember
actually
that
make
episode.
sense. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah. And what was the play that actually ends up that she ends up by doing? Oh no, that no, that's the streetcar named
Streetcar Named
Desire.
Desire.
That's
And
right.
she was
Yeah,
actually very good in that.
she was really good at that in Streetcar. Um, so while we're standing there talking to Abby, there is a lovely friend of hers comes over by the name of Martha,
Yep.
and Martha immediately starts swooning over the Green Lantern.
Yes. It is very
And
cool, I have
it
to admit.
is, and you know, Sheldon holds it up and says by day or night, no whatever, and he presses
By
his
brightest day or darkest night, tr truth shall never evade my sight, or something like
yeah,
that.
and he gets his ring and he taps it against the bulb that's in the lantern, and it illuminates green. And I love it. How Abby goes, "Oh, that's so cool." And I like how Raj then looks over at, sorry, that Sheldon looks over at Raj and goes, "Have you decided on which one you want to copulate with?" So now we are going to the restaurant.
Hmm.
This is by far one of the most uncomfortable meals that you could ever sit in on. Because on their double date, Leonard will not let the issue of psychics go.
And they're like, well,
And
what should we talk about? And Leonard's like, well, how about how, some people believing in psychics is ridiculous.
yeah,
And Penny's
um,
like, I think we've done that one to death.
yeah, Penny's very upset that Leonard even won't consider the whole thing with
Well, he's
psychics.
being a jerk.
Exactly. And so Leonard tries to get you know, the other couple, as in Bernadette and Howard, to weigh in. He says, "You are both scientists. You want to? Can you please help me out?" I love it how Howard looks over to Bernadette and says, "What do you think? Do you want to jump in the middle of another couple's arguments?" And
No,
Bernadette
thank
goes, "No,
you.
thank you." So he goes, "Sorry," and this is where, even you know, they say, "Okay, well, let's just stop talking altogether." And they're sitting there, and the waiter comes over and goes, "So how's everything going?" And Bernadette goes, "Really uncomfortable, thank you." It is very
It's
uncomfortable.
very
It's a
uncomfortable.
very yeah. Um, So this is just going on and on. The next scene we see is how Leonard and Penny are walking up the stairs, going to their respective apartments.
Well, okay, so at dinner, he was saying that, facts are facts. I believe in facts. And she's like, so if you can't understand it, it's
It's
not
not a
fact.
fact. Yeah.
And he's
And
like,
he goes, no, a fact is not a fact if it's not a fact.
and then he's like, well,
And
how's your fish? And she's like, it's really, really good. Would you like some? And he's like, yeah. And he goes to put his fork over there and she moves the plate away and says, well, the fact is you
you
can't,
can't.
which I think she was totally justified.
Absolutely. I mean, they have he's really ruined a very
Well,
nice evening.
and then they're walking up to where the apartments are, and he's still not letting it go.
Yeah, and but he's trying to explain that even if we've got, differencing of opinions and we're still in a great relationship, that we can even still, have sex with each other at the end of the night. And she walks in and slams the door. And I like it how he got her fish, her leftover fish in a box, and he goes, "Do you want your fish?" And she opens it, she grabs it, and pulls it back very, very aggressively,
Quickly.
and slams the door. And he
Yeah.
goes, "I knew you were going to do that. It doesn't make me psychic." And then he goes, "Great,
Yeah.
Leonard, mate, you're
Make
just
it
making it
worse.
worse." He opens the door into his apartment, and there we see Raj, Sheldon, Abby, and Martha are playing Rock
Rock
Band
band.
to American Woman. And I love it how Leonard goes, "What's going on here?" And he goes,
Sheldon goes,
She
we
goes,
scored.
"I'm the
I'm the
wingman."
wingman.
Playing the guitar. I must admit, Rock Band is awesome. My stepson
I've always wanted
had
to play that.
Oh, it is brilliant. My stepson had the drums and the guitar. So one day we were playing it and I'm like, which one would you like? And he goes, I'm better at the guitar. I'm like, okay, I'll do the drums.
And Paul's very good at the drums.
And it's got the different colors. So you just basically follow along with it. It was so much fun. 3 hours just went by so quickly. I think we went through about 10 songs in 3 hours just doing it. It was
Only
absolutely
10
amazing.
songs.
Yeah, well, we actually had a break in between that. So, but it was just so much fun. Really enjoyed it. So the next day in Leonard's lab, we see that Leonard is using one of his lasers to destroy Cylon figures. And because Howard comes in, he goes, "I had a great night last night, and he goes, I don't want to kiss and tell, but someone got to eighth base." And Leonard's like, What is eighth base?" He goes, "Well, seventh base with shirt off, well, my shirt." And he sees that he zaps this Cylon. He goes, "You taking your relationship aggression out on Cylon action figures?" He goes, "Yeah, well, that's okay.
Not just
Superman's
Cylon, Superman's
Superman's
next.
next." Yeah. And this is where Howard tells Leonard not to be so stubborn and just go with his date's beliefs, you know? And now this is what I find very interesting. Leonard says that he doesn't want to compromise all of his intellectual beliefs. I mean,
Which is a fair statement.
it is a fair
You
statement.
shouldn't, okay, you should not have to change who you are in order to be with someone. Because the moment that you start being what you think they want rather than being who you are, you have let go of the person that they fell in love with, and you've basically destroyed the relationship. You just might not know it for a while.
Yeah, well, Howard does say that there was a situation where he met a woman and um, believed immediately what she believed in just so he
Well,
could
no, he said
sleep with
there
her.
was a time where I was dating this woman who believed that she had been abducted by aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
And Howard and Leonard's like, that didn't bother you? He's like, on the contrary, it said that she was open to being probed.
Yeah. Which I don't really believe that Howard has scored as many times as he believes
No, he
he
hasn't.
scored. You
Nope.
know. I think his longest sexual relationship is Bernadette, to be honest with you.
Of course it is.
I don't see him being this uh, you know, ladies man that can get any woman into bed. I think he with his outfits and I like the fact that when we've got Bernadette, so his creep factor is going down quite a lot.
Yep.
Before we had Bernadette, he was very, very creepy. So
Yeah.
I think with his level of creepiness before Bernadette came into the picture, there was no way in hell any woman would go near Howard.
No.
It just
No.
doesn't fit that way. So this is where, as I said, Leonard doesn't want to, compromise all his intellectual beliefs. So this is where Howard goes over to the whiteboard and starts to demonstrate using a Venn diagram on the whiteboard the interaction between all the women he'd want to sleep with and the ones who believe exactly what Leonard believes. And then in the center There's a triple. There's like a triple
The
intersection.
crossover point,
Yeah,
the common point.
the ones who would be willing to sleep with him, and in that little triple intersection, he puts a dot and he says that there is your
Is your
perfect
ideal
mate.
mate.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically saying that it would possibly be uh, a very a thin scientist who lives on a Chinese research facility,
Facility.
and this is where Leonard says, I cannot give up my intellectual beliefs of what I believe into what she believes in. So basically, essentially, what Leonard's saying is he's going to break up with Penny
Yeah.
because he doesn't think that he can
And
go along with what
and
she's
that's
doing.
when Howard grabs his hand and puts a mark in the middle of his palm.
Yeah, and I love it how Leonard goes, "What's that?" And he goes,
Your new
"That's
girlfriend.
yeah,
Have fun tonight.
yeah." But you can see that Leonard is on the cusp of getting rid of Penny because,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why I'm saying the turnaround is quite amazing.
Yep.
So the next scene we see is in the apartment. Well, Raj comes into the apartment, and we see that before he comes in the apartment, Sheldon is sitting on the couch learning Finnish.
And he's
The,
like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, it's taking longer than expected to reinitialize my computer.
yeah,
So I cleaned the bathroom, cleaned the kitchen, and now I'm learning Finnish."
yeah. Why
And,
you sit down? I mean, intellectuals are amazing to be able to just sit down and just start doing that because they're just waiting.
and Raj says a Hindi phrase,
Yeah.
and Sheldon's like, "What does that mean?" He says, "Whatever floats your boat."
Yep.
The literal translation is everyone will do whatever.
Okay. So if he said that as that phrase, he probably wouldn't. Probably maybe Sheldon wouldn't understand. So he's put it in an English phrase that everybody understands. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um, so I love it how we see that apparently Abby had a really great time and would like to go on a double date again with
Well,
him
but she'd
and
like to go
Raj.
out with Raj again, but she'll only come if she can bring Martha.
Yeah. And Sheldon says, "Well, no, that's
And he's like,
been.
but and
I had a
Raj is
great time too. I've
and
done
Raj is
that.
like, you had a great, but you said you had a great time. He's like, yes, I had a great time.
It's in the past.
I've moved on. For
Yeah,
example, once I learn Finnish, I'm not going to come back and learn Finnish again.
exactly. So I don't need to do it again."
Yeah.
And Raj is really wants to go out with Abby again. So this is where, Sheldon says, "I'm not going to go out again." And he goes, and you can see Raj going, "Huh, okay." And he's bought in a shopping bag and he
And
reaches it.
because Sheldon is saying there's nothing that you can
You
say or
say, do,
do
yep,
that's going to make me change my mind.
yeah. So this is where Raj goes, okay, and reaches into the shopping bag and pulls out the Incredible Hulk hands signed by Stan
And
Lee.
well, and that's the thing is Sheldon looks at him, he's like, "Yeah, are those?" He says, "Yes, my collectible limited edition Hulk hands signed by Stan Lee." And he's like,
I've admired these for years. And you see Sheldon going towards him, then takes his hands away,
well,
then
and he's like, "What do
puts
you
his
think?" And he's
and
like,
he and he puts his
eh.
hands into it. Now, in the hands itself, because my stepson actually had these hands. When you go to put your hands in there, there's a bar that runs across the center part of the hand. So you grab a
Yeah,
hold of the bar,
well, that would
and
make
there,
sense.
and that would actually make it like you're holding the hands.
And
And so
and
this is where,
and I love how he goes, "Hulk agreed to go out with puny human."
and Raj goes, but you can't bring the Hulk hands. And I love it, how Raj, and
Ah, Hulk sad.
but this is exactly what's going to happen. We're going out on a second date. So the next scene we see, Leonard comes down to the laundromat, and Penny is in the laundry doing her laundry, obviously, and emptying the lint filter, which you should always do because it can cause a
Between
fire.
after every load, empty the
Hmm.
lint filter of the dryer.
I'm a good
Because
boy. I
if,
do that.
yes, you do. I have taught you well. Um,
I'm no longer a Padawan.
but because not only does it make the dryer function better and your clothes dry better, but if you leave it in there, it can actually cause fires.
Hmm.
And I used to have a boyfriend. Really, I did.
You
I
did?
used to have this boyfriend who changed it like if you're lucky once every 10 loads. And I actually was doing some laundry over at his house one weekend, and I went to clean it out. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Cleaning it." Or no, before I went to cleaned it out. It was like that thick in there.
Oh
Like
God.
nothing could move through that filter. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Cleaning out the filter. It's disgusting." And he's like, "Oh no, it's got another 10 loads on that." And I'm like, "Ah, no." And I'm like, "Dude, if
Oh,
you want to burn your house down, go right ahead, but yeah, you're not doing it with me."
that is shocking. No,
Yeah.
I always make sure I clean the lint filter.
Yeah.
Always. That's vile. So Leonard comes down, and of course he's trying to apologize
He's holding
to
a gift.
he's holding a gift, but he's trying to apologize to Penny.
And he
And
actually does make a good apology that
yeah,
he should have been more understanding and not mocked her because what she chooses to believe, her beliefs are valid.
yeah,
That she has a right to her beliefs,
yeah.
and he doesn't have the right to tell her her beliefs.
But he does say, "Would you be willing?"
Oh, no,
Oh,
first he says, "I would even be willing to go with you to your psychic and hear what she has to say and try and understand why you believe this."
yeah.
And she's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yes." And then he says,
But would you be willing to read a book disproving
and showing why all
psychics?
psychics are frauds.
And she goes, "I would not." And he goes, "Okay." And he throws the book into the bin where
The
the
gift
lint's
into the bin.
in the bin. So it shows me.
And he also said the line, well, at least one of us has to be open-minded.
And she says, "What do you mean I'm not open-minded?" And he goes, "No, no, no. Let me help you with the washing."
Yeah.
This is where I think Leonard is a hypocrite because, and hear me out, he has changed
Why
his
should I hear you out? You never hear me out.
touche. But this is where Leonard backpedals very, very quickly.
Yeah.
If he is true to keeping in his beliefs, then he would be saying to her, "Okay, so I'm willing to do something for you and going to your psychic to
Hmm.
see what you believe. You are unwilling and unwavering in your beliefs to even read a book." And I think it was a book
Yeah, it was.
disproving what psychics are and what they claim. Now, if she had a said, "You're willing to do this for me, I'm willing to do this for you. I will read the book, and then after that, if I still believe what I believe, I will go in open-minded. I'll read the book. If at the end I come back together with you and we've got a common ground, that's fine. If I suddenly don't believe that psychics are what they are, then fine. I'm not giving up my beliefs, but I'm open-minded." She has immediately shut him down and gone, "No, I
Okay.
believe what I believe, and that's all there is to it." He has thrown his beliefs away now.
He has not thrown away his beliefs. He is choosing to be open-minded and trying to see her side of it. Big
Yeah,
difference.
without Penny giving an inch.
Well, that being said, the way he reacted and as horribly as he treated her, I don't blame her. I wouldn't be ready to be that open-minded toward his side at the moment. It's still too raw.
Okay. All right, let's put it into
Or you're
something.
just pretending to go open-minded to my thing so that you can force me to change to your side of belief. I don't blame her. Okay, if you want to show that you are genuinely remorseful about how you treated me and you're genuinely willing to be open-minded, okay, then fine, come. And if he is, and they can have a calm conversation about it, then she might be willing to look at his side of it.
Yeah, I mean he's willing to go and see this psychic with
Yeah,
her
well, right
with
now
an
it's
open
like,
mind.
we'll see if you stay open-minded.
Yeah, but all he wants is a little bit of give and take in the
I
relationship.
understand, but the way he responded and the way he dismissed her so outright, she is fully within her rights to say, "I'm not ready at this point to trust you enough to have give and take."
Yeah, but I don't know. I
No,
mean,
Penny's right, completely in the right here
okay. Because
because
I
he
was,
he was a complete and total
oh, look,
dismissive
I know.
dick.
Yeah, I know he was because he was all about science.
Yeah,
See,
and he was the "I'm right and I'm the only one who can be right." And he was basically telling her what she needs to think and feel. And it's like, no, 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 no. And Penny is actually strong enough to say, "You don't tell me what I think. You don't tell me how to feel."
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just see that Leonard backs down pretty quickly
I don't think he did. I think he's trying to save the relationship
by backing down,
by not backing down, but by choosing to say, okay, I will be open to this. He's
which
not giving up anything that he believes. He's just saying, I'm willing to see what it's about.
I maybe I'm just explaining it wrong. And I know there are people out there that are
No, you're
listening to
just
this,
wrong.
right? Okay. I know there are people out there that are listening going, I understand what he's trying to convey. What I'm saying is that
No, I know exactly
okay,
what you're trying to convey.
okay, I
I
could have,
disagree with you.
okay, because I could have said to
The
you,
fact is, I disagree with you.
because I could have said to you a long time ago, you know, you don't like horror movies. Would you be willing to give it a chance to watch The Exorcist? And you would have gone, no, I'm not willing to do
In
that.
the beginning of our relationship, absolutely not.
Yeah, but you were willing to be flexible to see it. And even if you watched that first one and gone, that's all the horror I need, thank you very much, then that's fine. At least you gave it a go,
Yeah.
right? It just seems to me that that Leonard has gone to Penny and gone, yes, I was a complete ass. I mean, as we see that Penny, as Penny says, and one of the things here it says, his apology bombs with Penny rebuffing his attempts after being the most obnoxious person on a double date, including Howard
Howard
Wolowitz,
Wolowitz.
which is what Penny said.
Yeah.
Now, he's trying to say, okay, I am willing to go and see this psychic with you.
Yeah.
Would you be willing, from my side of the fence, to just read this book to see that shows and disproves what psychics are supposedly are? And Penny immediately says no. And
Because
he goes, okay. And he throws it away and he goes, okay, let's go and see your psychic. I am now trying to be open to save this relationship. If he really put his foot down, he would have gone, okay, I was a jerk because I was trying to explain to you how I feel about this. You want to believe in psychics? That's fine. You're not willing to compromise. I am willing to compromise. I think we need to call this relationship.
and that's what would have happened if he chose that path.
Yeah. And I think
And
I think with what he said, he should have.
I don't,
Okay.
because like I said, he was a colossal ass.
I agree with that one, 100%.
Her feelings from that, from the beating that she took from him,
Mm,
are still really raw.
yeah.
He was, and I think he realized that if he tried to push it at this point, it would kill the relationship. So he's willing to table the conversation about why psychics are frauds to another day when everything isn't so raw.
So essentially, someone had to give in to keep it moving forward.
He is saying, I will try to see your side of it.
Mm.
And down the road, and he didn't say this part of it, obviously, but down the road, I will try again and see if we can have an actual conversation about it where I don't ridicule and belittle and mock.
Yeah. I just see it as down the track if he tries to bring it up again because Penny has dug her heels into the ground. I think if he tries to bring it up again, it would be reopening up fresh wounds,
Yeah.
which basically means that's the end of the conversation. He can't bring it up again.
And there are, I mean, but there are things in every couple's relationship that they agree to disagree on and they just don't talk about.
Yeah. And I think this is one of them
Yeah.
where Penny would be, because if he brings it up again, Penny would be like, really? You're bringing this up again? I thought we had this conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we can't have this conversation. Because as he goes through, she also tells Leonard that she also believes in ghosts, astrology, and he goes, "Yes, I know," and crystals. And she goes, "Oh no, 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 crystals don't work." And he goes, she says that he says, "Oh yes, that's right. You believe it's like voodoo." And he goes, she says, "Oh,
Oh
you don't want
no,
to mess with
voodoo
voodoo.
is
You
real. You don't want
don't
to
want to
mess
mess
with
with voodoo."
that. Personally, I agree with her on that one.
I wouldn't want to tackle voodoo either. So the next scene we see, getting to the end of the episode,
Thank God.
is Sheldon and Raj are now back together with Sheldon and
They're
Raj
with
and Martha
Martha and
and
Abby.
Abby
And
on
I
a double date.
and I love how Sheldon is sitting on the couch in his spot with Abby. I mean
No, with Martha.
Martha.
Yeah.
And they're talking about Flatland, and she's
Yeah.
bringing up this point, and he goes to rest his head on his arm and say, "Fascinating. I never thought about it before. That's going to change my future visits there." And
Mm.
he's wearing the Hulk hand.
And of course, we look over and we see that Abby and Raj are making out like rabbits
like
on
like
really
yeah.
devouring each other. And I like it how Sheldon goes, "Oh well," and he looks at his hand. He goes, "Ah, time to go to bed.
He's like, "It's getting late."
Getting
She's like,
late.
"Yes." And he's
Yeah.
like, "Time for bed." And she's like, "Okay."
Okay." And he goes, "Good
Good
night,"
night, Pony Human.
and walks out and goes into his
And
bedroom. And
she's like,
you see Martha going, "What the what?" So we follow then Martha walking towards Sheldon's bedroom, knocks on Sheldon's bedroom door, and Sheldon comes out holding his Green Lantern,
in his
and she
bathrobe
in
over
his
his
bathrobe,
pajamas.
and she goes, they're getting busy in the living room, and I was wondering if I could come in and hang out with in here for a
In for a
while.
while.
And he goes, "Okay, yeah, come on in." So she goes in and she sits on Sheldon's bed, and Sheldon
That's
said,
not meant to stop you, honey.
"Okay,"
Finish your
and
sentence.
Sheldon says, "I'll go sleep in Leonard's bedroom. Good night," and shuts the door and walks out with his Green Lantern, and the scene then goes black as that at the end of the episode. So,
Now, Sheldon generally, as we know, does
mhm.
not allow people in his room,
Yes.
yet he lets Martha in.
Why?
How,
Why did that happen?
however, his hesitation and the audience response upon approval suggests that this is not a goof, but a deliberate plot twist showing that Sheldon actually likes Martha and enjoys her company so much as to allow her to be in his room, providing that he himself is not there.
Hmm. But it's interesting because you know that
I don't know.
Abby,
I think the writers might have forgotten.
yeah, because you know that Martha was going in to probably Wawa,
Yeah, but she
or
didn't know
maybe just
Sheldon
wanted,
that well.
no, or maybe just wanted to sit there and talk to him. But the
Yeah.
fact that he gets up and walks out and goes
No,
to sleep in
no, the
Leonard's
fact he
bed,
was saying it was time for bed and she got excited tells you exactly what she
yeah.
wanted.
Oh, she knew. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
pretty much Wawa time. So, yeah. But as I said, it's a good episode, not a great one. There's not a lot of laughs in this. Um, but yeah, it's certainly in my top, I don't know, maybe top 75, maybe top 100, but
Mm.
nowhere near, my top, say, 20 of all time. But it was a good episode. So what was our food this week?
We just had one restaurant.
We did, didn't we?
That's it. That was
Wasn't
it.
very, very food light this
It was
week.
very food light this week.
Yeah. And what is our oh, we got a question of the week. What is our question? Go away.
If the Big Bang Theory characters had dating profiles,
Mm-hmm.
whose would you actually swipe right on? And more importantly, why?
Hmm.
And you can pick from Sheldon, Leonard, Howard, Raj, Penny, Amy, or Bernadette.
Yeah. All
And our
right.
crazy credits.
Don't know about that one. I'd have to think about that one.
Oh,
Okay.
I know exactly where I'd go.
Who would you go?
I would go with Leonard.
Yeah, you've always said you'd be a
I've
Leonard
always
girl.
said that from the beginning.
Yeah.
If I were to date any of them, it would be Leonard.
See, as a guy, we've got a different. Okay, there's a problem here, right?
If it was a BFF app, I would go for Penny.
Okay. If I was just, and I'm
Or
guessing right
actually, possibly even Amy, to be honest with you,
as a BFF,
as a
but
BFF.
Amy can be very needy.
She can, which is why I would hesitate. I mean, I wouldn't, okay, if I didn't know her based on just like on her interests and stuff, I probably would choose Amy over
Yeah.
Penny because Penny is too much of a party girl and I'm not. And I'd end
Yeah.
up just being the designated driver all the time. I remember once I had a group of friends from work who all only invited me so that I could be the designated driver because I didn't drink back in those days. And I actually commented on that once, and they were so horrified that I basically called them out. And I wasn't doing it meanly. I didn't mind. I
Yeah.
was more than happy to do it, but they never invited me again.
Well, they should have understood to invite you out for you, not for your vehicle abilities.
Well, no, and I didn't mind being the designated driver because I did enjoy just hanging out with people and I appreciated being included. And I said that, but they were so horrified that I saw through them.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though.
Yeah,
You didn't want to be, they didn't want you to see through the bullshit they were.
that they were just using me.
Exactly. But no, if I had to swipe on anybody, and I'm guessing right is that you want to date them.
Yes.
Um, Originally I would have said Bernadette, but she
Yeah.
becomes a bitch, so I
But
wouldn't.
again, we don't know them.
Okay, so we don't know them
Yeah.
based on their profile alone. I'm sorry to be so shallow, but it would be Penny.
Yeah.
Penny or Bernadette. But
Yeah.
yeah, if I didn't know, unfortunately, I wouldn't go with Amy.
I mean, potentially Raj, as I do love Raj, but I think my first choice would be Leonard.
Yeah. So I'd do Penny. I'd do Penny or Bernadette. Amy, unfortunately, I
But
can't.
I'd
But
probably tell off his mother the same way I did tell off my ex-husband's father when he came to visit, and he
yeah,
kept putting down my husband in his own home.
yeah. So that wouldn't work very well. You wouldn't be very well received by his mother.
No, well, I wasn't very well received by my father-in-law either.
No.
He was ready to pack and leave the moment I walked out of the room.
Yeah.
Um, but I find but and he was just so upset and I calmed down and I came back in and I sat the both of them down. I'll never forget this. Sat the both of them down next to each other on the couch and Tony was threatening to go change his flights and everything else and I basically looked at him and I'm like, "Tony, sit down, shut up and listen." And I was like and I pointed at his son and I said, "Do you love your son?" "Yes." "Well, then tell him."
Hmm.
"Are you proud of him?" "Yes." "Well, then tell him." And got the two of them to start talking. And actually, it ended up creating a much closer bond between the
Yeah.
two of them. They actually started to have an adult relationship after that. And I
It,
would probably do the same thing to Leonard's mother
yeah.
because you do not belittle and make fun of and mock and put down the people that I love, especially in their own home.
Hmm.
I will not have that.
Okay. So we have crazy. So that was our question this week. Do we have crazy credits?
Yes, Chuck Lorre Productions number 273. I am writing this vanity card from deep in the jungles of Borneo. The heat is oppressive, the mosquitoes are relentless, and the natives are hungry for meat, American meat, specifically ground chuck. What was I thinking coming here for my Christmas break? What insanity led me to this godforsaken hell? Oh, how I wish I were back in Burbank. Oh, Burbank, Burbank, forgive me for not seeing your beauty when you thrust it in my face. But now that matters not. Or that matters not now. Either way, my time is running short. Funny how your perspective changes when the end is near. Being overlooked by the Golden Globes yet again seems so unimportant to me now. The fact that one of the natives is about to eat me as a freelance showbiz reporter for the Kota Kimbalu Daily Bugle and a voting member of the Hollywood Foreign Press even provides me with some comfort. For as I close my eyes on this world, I'll at least know that while I may not be to everyone's taste as television, if sautéed with butter and lemon, I will be to everyone's taste as lunch.
I'm glad you do those vanity cars because Kumbale or whatever it was would just trip me up something Vias.
Kota Kinabalu Daily Bugle.
Thank you. I would have been tripped up amazingly, and I wouldn't have been able to say that one. So thank you for being the person
I
that
thought it was
reads the
because
vanity
I
cards.
actually give them personality.
You do give them personality because I would be monotone. So I'm glad that you actually have got that. You just do that. That's fine. So,
Okay.
so thank you to everybody for coming to visit us at PMS. Now, if you do want to reach out to us, Perpetual Motion Squad. That's all one word, and then 00. That's the number 00.
Those all one word.
Yep.
Perpetual Motion Squad 00.
Yep. Yeah, at gmail.com. And that's if you want to send us an email. And if you want to answer the question, which will be on the Facebook page
And in the show notes.
and in the show notes, so you can do that. You can answer us directly on Spotify in the comments section. So that's always open. You can always reach out to us. Whether you just want to, if you don't want to send us an email, you want to reach out to us, just put it in the comments section. We'll always read it and get back to you on that one. So we've got a lot of places for people to come and reach out to us when they want to get in contact. And also remember, we've got openings for people that want to join for an
And be
episode
an
here.
extra co-host.
Be a co-host on the podcast. So all you need to
Yeah.
do is reach out to us and say, "Hey, Paul and Kat, I would love to do this episode. Can we set it up?" No worries. We'll get the Skype all organized, and we'll have you on as a extra special guest on
Yes.
the podcast. And
Yes.
we are not celebrities. We are just two regular people sitting here talking about the Big Bang Theory and loving it as much as you do. And if you want to be involved and hear yourself on a podcast, reach out to us. We'd love to
It's
have you.
fun.
It is. You can ask the people that have been on. You know, they enjoyed it. We would love to have you come through. So just let us know if you want to join us.
Yep, definitely.
And if you love us as much as we think you do, and you'd love to send us a coffee, you can just click on the little links on the bottom of the show notes, and you can send us
Or
a
in the
coffee.
about of the page or the group on Facebook.
Yeah, you can always send us a coffee if you'd like to. And even if you don't want to send us a coffee and you just love what we do, that's good too. We
Yep.
love having you here every single week.
Now we know that there are people who listen and watch and haven't subscribed yet.
Hmm.
So it only takes a second. Hit the like and subscribe, hit the little bell on YouTube, and you'll get reminded when the new episode drops so you don't miss anything.
Absolutely. And obviously, as we know, this episode is being shadowed also by a mailbag episode that you can now click on to listen to us do a mailbag episode. The
And check in with
mailbag
everybody's comments and
The
things.
mailbag, I believe, is going to be very, 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 very short.
Short.
It may be like 15 minutes or so, depending on how much bullshit we can
Yep.
talk about, but it may only be like a 15 or 20-minute episode because we don't have a lot of
Yeah.
responses
Which is
from,
why you want to respond.
yeah. So respond
You can
to,
even message us through in the pager group. You can actually send a message to us as well
yeah, yeah.
if you
So,
don't want it to be public.
yeah. So this episode obviously is being shadowed by a mailbag that you'll be able to click on now to listen to us. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So again, thank you to those who have sent us a coffee. And if you are loving what we do and want to show a little love, please click the link to shout us a coffee, whether it's $1, $500, or anywhere in between.
Yep.
We are grateful for everything that people send.
And if you don't send us anything, we love you anyway.
Yes, we do. Okay. So, oh, and don't forget to invite anybody you know who likes the Big Bang Theory. The more the
Hell
merrier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so that wraps it up for today. Next time we'll see you for season 3, episode 13, The Bozeman Reaction. That's the one where they get their apartment broken into and he decides to go to Bozeman.
Yeah, and become a bozite.
A bozite, yeah.
I like this one. I like this episode coming up.
Yep. All right, so thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. And in the meantime, we'll catch up at the Cheesecake Factory.
Bye, everyone.